And hopefully after our calls this week, each of you have completed that list of 10. That is so incredibly important that you are that you're doing that, and and making sure that you're getting that taken care of. So because tonight you're going to learn how to approach them plus others. So today we're talking about identifying leads away from the party, and it's exactly what a lot of you did in your list of 10. Was you identified people that you would want to have as your business partner. So this is so important to your business because if you're not doing this, you are missing a huge opportunity. The hardest and the easiest people to recruit are people we know. I'm just going to be honest. It's the hardest and the easiest because we know about them, but there's a lot of an assumption that happens. Like, oh, they'll let me know if they want to do it, or, you know, they said no in the past, so I'm not going to talk to them about it. I don't want to be pushy. And let me just tell you, nobody wants to be pushy. At least anybody that says I don't want to be pushy, it means you're not going to be pushy. So I don't want you to worry about that. So I just want you to take a moment right now, and I want you to write down 5 people that you feel like would be interested in the business. Write down 5 people you feel would be interested. After you do that, I want you to write down 5 people you know won't be interested. How many of you are finding it easier to write down the ones you know won't be than the ones you know will be, right? All right. Well, it's our human nature to decide who will and who won't. But I want to share a story with you guys. So about 25 or 26 years ago, it's been right when I started in the business, I shared with you guys I didn't know a lot of people. And so the one place I was meeting people was through our church. And when I was a consultant, we had a Monday night meeting every single Monday night. And I didn't figure that I guess I wasn't real smart because I didn't know I was really an independent contractor and I didn't have to go. But I'm glad I didn't know that because I believe investing myself every single week for 2 hours in downtown Dallas, and that's where it was. So really 3 to 3.5 hours every single Monday night, I invested in my business and learning. And so once you became a leader, you got assigned jobs. It might be training, it might be working in the supply room, it might be doing what we call greeting, which was giving out tickets, kind of like what you do at your team meetings. But this was a huge sales meeting where all the local consultants came together from that distributorship. There was usually 200 or 300 people there. So I'm standing at the door one Monday night, not long into my business, probably maybe 6 months. And all of a sudden, this girl by the name of Carol Green, which I always kind of called her my nemesis because we were always battling, you know, for first place as the new leaders, new managers, whatever you want to call it, walks in, and right behind her is a girl by the name of Stacy Wooten. Stacy Wooten was in my Sunday school class. Now, I didn't know many people, but I knew people in my Sunday school class. In fact, I knew them so well, we socialized with them. We had dinner with them. And I about flipped out. And after the meeting, I went up to Stacy and I just said, hey, I'm so glad you're here and I'm glad you're part of Tupperware. However, why didn't you join my team? And guess what her response was? You never asked. Wow. Let me tell you, I'll be honest, I'm glad I made that mistake in my first 6 months. Because you bet it changed the way I recruited, and I quit assuming immediately. And I really don't want you to have to learn the hard way. I want you to learn from my mistake. So don't prejudge. And do you know what? Stacy went on to earn a car and become a manager and do really, really well. And that all could have been mine if I just would have asked. And again, it's because we think that people we know will volunteer. Oh, Laura, you're doing so good. I want to do that too. Or I see you're enjoying Tupperware. Can you tell me about it? They're not going to. Who got her? The perfect stranger got her. Not me, the person she had a relationship with. And that was a real hard pill to swallow, and I don't want it to happen to you. So now I want you to take that list you just made, and I want you to tear it up. Or I want you to put them all under the column, people I know will be interested, or people I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask. Because please don't learn the hard way like I had to. Prejudging is something that will kill your business. It is human nature. I still fight it. I've been doing it. So don't beat yourself up for prejudging. Just once you do it, have a little self-chat with yourself and say, okay, am I going to be Lori, and is that person going to be Stacy Wooten? Or am I going to, I'm going to ask everybody so I don't have to worry about it. Because I really want all of you to have the opportunity to have everybody be a success story in your book, okay? So that's just a little thing. So the next thing that we want to do is talk about how do you identify leads when you're out and about, and to keep your team growing. This is something you need to be doing daily. So I know I've shared these words with you, and a lot of what we do is repetition. So I'm just going to share them again. But one thing that we used to say in this industry is find a need and fill it. But we can no longer do that because there's lots of ways for people to find a need or fill a need that they have in today's work world with modern technology. When that term was identified and coined was back before modern technology, and you had very little, you had very few options to, work around your schedule. But in today's world, we have many, many options to do that. So all of us have 4 main lead sources. One of them is our contact list. That's that list of 100 that you should have made and should always be adding to. I would say for every 6 months you're in the business, you should have another 100. Because you're meeting people all the time. You're meeting people at parties. You're meeting people away from parties. Your kids' sports teams are changing. Your job may have changed. Your church may have changed. Your neighbors may have changed. So for every 6 months you're in the business, you should have another 100 people. And that way you're never going to run out of people. You're also going to find from your daily activities. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to think about your week. Where does your life take you during the week? And I want you to you think about this coming, actually I want you to think about the next 3 days. I don't even want you to use a whole week. Because most of us can find 3 people a day outside of our current contact list. But I'm going to put on a timer. And actually, I'm going to give you a week. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to put on a timer. And I want to see, someone's going to get a prize. Who can come up with the most places in a week that they could meet people? So let me get my timer ready. Up. I'm going to set it for 3 minutes, and it's going to feel like an eternity. And on your mark, get set, go. Write down as many places. Think of all walks of life.
These are places we already go?
Yes. Like if you have a kids sporting event, I'll give you a hint. That might be a place that you could get leads. All the places you go in a week. So start, what do you do all day Monday? What do you do all day Tuesday? What do you do all day Wednesday? You have a minute and a half left. Thirty seconds. All right, time. Everybody put their pencils down. Okay, raise your hand, and if you're on phone, I guess you'll just come up if you're the top person. Or Christina, I can't see you, but I have two people. I have a 6, 7, 8 I can't see, and Christina I can't see. But otherwise, if you have at least 10 places, raise your hand. Okay, if you have at least 15 places, raise your hand. Keep it up. 20. 25. Okay, all I see up then is Claire. So Claire, I'm going to take you off, and we want you to share your list of people, of places that you can go. I keep trying to take you off, and it's not letting me take you off mute. Maybe you're going to have to unmute your, there we go. No?
Hello?
Okay, there we go. So Claire, tell us, read your list of places, because it's going to probably jog some memories. And everybody, if Claire has something that you don't have, add it to your list, okay? If it's a place that you could go to. So
okay, I don't know how far y'all got. My connection keeps freezing. I got 18 places. Oh, so okay. I don't know. I might be lower than others.
Okay, yep, we got to 25. Okay, go back and raise your hand if you're at 20. 21.
Okay, I'm hoping you're hearing me. I will tell you my places.
Now, Claire.
My front office of.
I'm going to tell you off because we got to keep going to the top. Claire, we can hear you, but you're not the number one. Hold on. So, Amy, you're still in. Dina Clark, you're still in. Anybody else? Deb, you're still in. Who else is still in? Anybody? 22. Keep your hand up. Amy Amar, you're our winner. Okay, so Amy, I'm going to take you off mute. And I want you to share your list. And then I want to see how big some of your other lists get. and if that you're going to add some places so check off all the places that Amy has that you have, and then add the ones that Amy has that you don't have, okay? All right, Amy?
Okay.
Go.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. The gas station, grocery store, your chamber of commerce, scouting events, sports events, school functions, church, your post office, your delivery offices such as FedEx, since I talk to them a lot with delivering our chocolate, furniture stores, fast food, and then sit-down restaurants, union hall, because that's where my husband works, so there's a lot of union people in there, medical offices, lawyer's office, the dentist, eye doctor, we go to all those places, construction offices, realtors offices, and then I put friends, the bank, friends' houses, and family that visiting their houses.
Okay. So now that you've added Amy's, who now has more than 22? So you have some different than Amy. Okay, Deb, why don't you read us? I'm going to take Amy off. And Deb, why don't you read us? Even though Amy was our #1 winner, we want to keep building those lists. So Deb, read us what you have. And so Amy's going to add. We're going to keep getting bigger. Some places that Amy didn't.
I have the social clubs. Okay, social club, the gym, casino, hair salon. I have a card club, nail salon, dry cleaners, jewelry store, the car dealership, delivering chocolate orders, a show, and another business, and then I have a facial appointment this week.
Excellent. Okay, so with hers, how many do you have now, Deb?
I have 27 now with hers.
27, okay. Who has some that Deb nor Amy had? Catherine. So we're going to take Catherine off mute. You're still on mute, Catherine. I unmuted you at the same time you unmuted yourself.
Okay.
And everybody keep adding Catherine's, okay? Because here's the thing. We're going to have quite the list, aren't we?
I didn't hear anybody say a car repair place. I heard dealership.
Yep.
But not car repair.
Yep, that's excellent. No, because so for me, I buy my car and get it repaired at 2 different places. Excellent. Okay. Anybody have something else? Do you still have some more, Catherine?
I do.
Okay.
I work at a college, so I named my particular college. And my husband works at a separate one, so that's 2 different universities.
So your work and his work, yeah.
Yep. I don't remember hearing daycare as opposed to school mentioned.
Yes, okay. We're at 30 now, probably about.
That's what I've got, and I'm sorry for my baby squealing in the background. He hates having his diaper changed.
All right, who has some that still haven't been said? All right, Shanna, and then we'll go to Kim if there's still some different ones.
The library, florist, the produce store, thrift stores. I'm a big thrift store. And that's it.
So that's about 34, okay? Kim, go next. I unmuted you. Sorry. There you go.
Oh, I have a quarter auction this weekend and flea market I'm going to.
Excellent. Okay. I love flea markets. Okay. Anybody else? Christy.
I have the laundromat because I spent 5 hours there this weekend because my dryer broke. I have my fiance's work. I know somebody said their husband's college, but my fiance's job. Online, because I do a ton of online vendor events. Your Dove parties. You meet tons of people. A department store. And the dollar store, because that's where I go to get all my favors for my parties.
Excellent. All right. Anybody have any still that we haven't mentioned? There's everything covered. All right. That was 37 ideas. If each of you took that list and targeted 3 a day and went, that's 13 days 12 days taken care of. No, it's more than that. Yeah, it's 12 days taken care of. 12 times 3 is 36. So that's 12 days taken care of right there. And looking for leads. So that doesn't mean you're always going to find the perfect person, but it's a place to go and it's a place to help your team. So just think, if you gave your team 3 ideas a day, you have 2 weeks worth of ideas. And as John Wyckoff always says, then you rinse, wash, repeat, right? You just start over, because you can go to those places again. I can promise you, if Christy goes Saturday, I hope she doesn't have to, back to the laundromat, she's going to see completely different people than she saw this time at the laundromat, right? If you go to the car repair shop, it's not just the people that work there, it's the people that are sitting in the waiting room, right? It can be a completely different group of people. If you take treats to the men at the repair shop, they're going to probably ask you to come back every day and meet every guest they've ever had. You know, so I had mattresses delivered today. What did I do? I got a name and phone number and sent home chocolate for the repair guy's wife, or I think it was fiance. So and I actually did that. I actually sent for the man we bought the mattresses from last night, because I didn't have any with me. And so we really have a lot of places. So what we have to do is we have to start looking for people that we would like to partner with, the friendly face. I'm that person that if you come in and you smile at me, I'm probably going to talk to you. How's your day going? It doesn't have to be anything, but when they converse back, you know, what are you here for? Make small talk. It's very important to learn to make small talk, because that is what's going to lead you to success. And then be prepared, and you should have learned this on your quick start kickoff call, is how to deliver your 30-second commercial. And part of your homework tonight is going to be to write your 30-second commercial. Your 30-second commercial needs to be who you are, what you do, not who you are. So who you are as a Dove Chocolate Discoveries chocolatier, right? And we all think Mouseketeer. I think we talked about this early on. This is tell people what you do. So when you go somewhere and you give someone a sample and say, you know what, I'm trying to make people smile today. We're all in this stinking tire shop and none of us want to be here, right? And we're about to spend a fortune on tires. They're going to start laughing. So I brought you all, I work for Dove Chocolate, and I brought you all a treat. Someone's going to respond positively and say, well, what do you do? Why do you do that? Well, I work for Dove Chocolate, and I actually host in-home parties to put smiles on people's faces, give away free chocolate, and look for people that would like to own their own chocolate business. Does any of that sound of interest to you? Well, yeah, that sounds like the best job in the world. So tell them what you do, not who you are. Okay? So part of your homework is you're going to share your 30 seconds. Did you see how short mine was? It's truly under 30 seconds. But that gives them a chance to respond. And the thing the biggest part, I believe, of a 30-second commercial, and it doesn't give this in the example in the book on page 33, but I believe it's really important, is try to end your commercial with a question. Does any of that sound fun to you? What part sounds the best to you? How would you like to have your own chocolate business? You know, that type of thing, because then that requires a response. And if you notice that, all of those, most people are going to respond positively to. Not do you want to have a party or do you want to be on my team, but what part of that sounds fun to you? You know, how would you like to have a job like that? Or how would you like to get to hang out with chocolate every day and make people smile? Look for a way to engage them in a positive response. Okay, so think about that. Homework piece number 1 is write your 30-second commercial. Okay. I used to use drawing slips, but I feel like we've become a society of too much paper and too much to keep up with. Another thing that you can do to get referrals and to use your drawing slips appropriately is questions that they write on the order form. I love using my order form as my drawing slip because I'm never going to lose an order form. How many of you have had people write things on little pieces of paper and then you never get it back? So what you want to do is when you hand out your catalogs and order forms, whether you do it at the beginning of the party or the end of the party, because it's probably split 50-50. I'm an end of the party girl. But some of other top managers are beginning of the party people. When you hand it out, first thing you want them to do is write name, phone number, and email. And it's only eligible for your drawing if those 3 things are on it. And preferably a phone number you can text them on. And actually have them say, if you would prefer me to never text you, because I know some people don't read their email anymore, please do not send, because I send sales and I send, extra special promotions through text. If you don't want to receive them, just put I'd prefer not to. But I know it's just sometimes for most of us, it's easier than checking our email. I don't even bother with physical address anymore because I don't mail anything unless it's a hostess and then I'm going to get her physical address, right? So you can decide on that. So I use my order form like crazy. So I might say when I do the BAM tool, how many of you use the BAM tool for hostessing and for recruiting? If you're not, you're really missing out. So what I like to do is when I do that, the front side, I say, okay, on the left-hand side of your top left-hand corner of your order form, I want you to write your favorite thing you saw about what people get for hosting a party. What's the thing that if you were tonight's host, what would you want the most? I didn't say when you're hostess. I said if you were tonight's host, what would you want the most? They write at the top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner. Okay, I'm going to turn when I do the other side later in my party after I play Ask Me Questions About My Job or before, whenever. At the end, I'm going to say on the top right-hand corner, I want you to write down the thing that you would enjoy most if you were me and had my job. What part would you like the most? And then, kind of refresh your memory. Would it be being your own boss? Would it be having the flexible hours, naming your own income? Just a little quick refresher. Next month, when we release our fundraising and our corporate gifting, the bottom left-hand corner of your order form, if you're part of a group or know anyone that's in a group that's looking to raise funds, write fun at the bottom of the left corner of your order form. If you know anybody that owns a business or maybe looking to get gifts for vendors, write the word biz, B-I-Z. So easy. Now look, is your order form now like a freaking wealth of knowledge? And we never lose an order form, ladies, especially if there's an order on it, right? But how many of you lost little pieces of paper before? Or you get home and you don't know what to do with them. I always filed my order forms because, of course, back in the day, we didn't have a system that told us what people bought and all that. But at least now I come home and I've got all that information. And if I want to put them into my contacts to receive my newsletter, not only do I have that, I've got notes galore. And it makes it very, very easy. So use your order form, and then you can even have a place for them to write referrals. You're not going to lose an order form, I'm telling you. The first person to put 3 referrals on their order form of people that love chocolate gets a prize when they leave. You can give everybody a prize. Did I tell you about what I used to do when they gave me referrals? So I would give you, let's say, tonight my gift is going to be, I'm not going to serve sea salted caramels, but anybody that gives me 3 referrals, name and phone number, and is willing to call them and say, hey, my chocolate lady Lori's going to be calling you because I know you love chocolate and like to have fun. So expect a call from her tomorrow. I give them a little, I like pretty, and I spend too much money, I know, but I like the little organza bags, but you can just use little plastic bags, my business card, and a sea salted caramel. And I give them that, or you can even give them one for 3 leads. I'd probably give them 1 dark, 1 milk. And then I say, now, when this becomes when anybody either books a party or joins my team, I'm going to turn this into the full-size box. Well, look, we have a 6-piece full-size box. You don't have to buy the $32 box. Or take 3 or 4 cinnamon dusted almonds, 1 for each and 1 for them. So put 4 cinnamon dusted almonds in a baggie. And when they turn that into somebody books a party or becomes a team member, you turn it into the real box, the 8-ounce box. You can do it with our coffee samples. It's a little more expensive, but it's a lot easier. Whatever you want to do, but that has worked for me. That their job is to go home and call and say, hey, Dad, my friend Laurie. So when I call the next day, it's not a cold call. It's a warm call. Hey, Dad, it's Laurie. And I know that Shanna called you and told you I was going to be calling you. I met her last night at a party, and she said you love chocolate, or you're looking for a way to make money, or you're the ultimate hostess with the mostest. You know, whatever they've told me about that person. And it can really turn into a good, solid lead. Okay? So those are the 4 of the ways to identify people. And so nobody has a reason for not getting out and doing at least 3 Cocoa Chats this week. So second part of your homework is 3 Cocoa Chats. Okay, so your 30-second commercial, 3 Cocoa Chats. I don't care if you have to practice, but you don't tell people you're practicing until they say no. If somebody goes, I just really am not interested, then you're going to say something like, well, you know what, Christy, I appreciate that, and I understand that maybe the time's not right, but would it be okay if I just practiced on you? I've been challenged for homework, and I don't get to be part of a class unless I do 3 this week. The minute she says yes, you are no longer practicing. It is for real in your mind. Because what's going to happen is they're going to relax. They're going to think, oh, we're just practicing. They're not. How many of y'all sat at a party going, well, how am I going to say no to booking a party, and how am I going to say no to the opportunity, right? But as soon as you say we're practicing, they're thinking, oh, I don't have to think up my excuse because it's just a practice. Well, you're going to do it for real. And you're going to be so surprised at the end when so many of those practice interviews become real recruits because they've relaxed and gotten the negative, and they're not trying to figure out what they're going to say. They're really listening, and they're going to learn something they didn't know about our business. So now, in this last 23 minutes that we have, I am going to show you guys how to do a very effective recruiting interview using our food cards. Is everybody familiar with the food cards? Y'all know what these are? Okay. Support money, time, simple time. Okay. Oh, hold on, I just dropped one. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want you to take note of is how I ask questions. And I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to ask one of you to role play with me and see if, and all you're going to be doing is you're going to be just kind of that, I'm going to do the work. You're going to respond as naturally as possible. And quite honestly, I'd like the newest person on the call to do it. Okay? Because you're probably back to the most, you probably can think back better than most of us can to the most natural response. And then I want you to listen to the questions that I ask prior to the interview, okay, or prior to the Cocoa Chat. Cocoa Chat to me is not my favorite word, I'm going to be honest, because I think people think they're going to chat about chocolate, and no, we're going to chat about a business opportunity. So we're doing an interview. So who has been in the business 3 months or less? Raise your hand. Anyone? Deb? And Kim. Have either of you been in the business 2 months or less? Deb and Mara? Deb, when did you join? Mara, you've got a child around, don't you? Possibly. Probably easier for me to do Deb because there won't be as much background noise. Deb, would you mind role playing with me?
Sure.
Okay. So, Deb, I met you at a party. You know what? No, let's do something completely different because we just talked about away from a party, okay?
Okay.
So, you are the wife of the guy that I bought the mattress from yesterday.
Okay.
And he said, I think my wife would be great at this. And I'm going to go home and talk to her. And I said, okay, I'm going to call you in the morning and see if she's interested and if I can give her a call. Okay. I don't want to catch her off guard. I want you to tell her how great the product is. I want you to tell her how excited you are about it. Do you see how I'm using him?
Mm-hmm.
That she could actually make money selling chocolate and that you would be supportive. I know nothing about you, Deb, except your husband is my mattress guy.
Okay.
All right? Because that's going to happen sometimes. You know absolutely nothing about the prospect when you're out getting leads away. So I'm going to jump into this. And Deb, I honestly want you to just respond as naturally as possible. Don't make it hard to make it hard. Don't make it easy to make it easy. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, hi, Deb. This is Lori Lambert, and I met your husband, Rudy, last night when I was purchasing mattresses. He said he told you all about me.
Yes, he did.
Well, great. And I called him this morning, and he said you would be expecting my call, that with his information he shared with you, you're actually intrigued enough to listen to me.
Yes, I will. I'll listen to your pitch.
Well, let me just change my words. I said that. I don't want you to listen to me. I want to get to know you and see how this could work for you. Doesn't that sound better than just listening to my pitch?
Yes.
Well, good. So, Deb, besides being married to Rudy, and that's all I really know about you, tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you have children? How old are they? Do you work outside the home? Anything that would help me to get to know you better and match this up for you.
I have 2 children, but they're adults, and I do not work outside the home right now.
Okay, great. Any grandkids yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, not working outside the home. And Deb, have you ever done anything in the home party business before?
Yes, I have. I don't know if you've ever heard of Longaberger.
Yeah, I have.
I currently am a Longaberger consultant for 25 years.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. So my next question was going to be, has it been a good experience or a bad? But I thought you wouldn't have stuck around.
Well, in the past it was a good one, but our company's going through some changes, so I'm looking for something new, possibly to fill my time and my wallet.
All right, I love that. So what were the things that you loved about it when it was going good?
Earning incentives, the travel, friendship with all the people I met along the way.
Great. And is there anything, what is something that's kind of bothering you right now that you don't want to repeat when you start with a new company?
I want to make sure the company is stable. It has a good product that is easy to sell and possibly have repeat sales. It's very hard to sell baskets when they cost $100 and go back every month and ask them to buy another one.
I could certainly
understand that. Yeah,
absolutely. I know I love the fact that you talked about earning incentives, but the main you started out that's something to fill your wallet. And so, what kind of money would you like to be making? A week or a month, or how many hours? I don't know if you think more of in the time frame that you have to put in, or more of the money that you need to make now that you're not currently working another job outside the home.
I wouldn't mind doing, which I've never done in my life, but 2 to 3 home shows a week. And so what would that how much would I earn if I did 2 to 3 home shows a week?
Well, on average, we make about $100 per party, but we have a fantastic bonus structure. So before bonus, you'd be looking at $800 to $1,200. But with our bonus structure, you have 3 parties a week at our $400 party average. And with your experience, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have more of a $500 or $600 party average. But let's just use let's stick at 4 because I'd rather, kind of build it up from the bottom.
Okay.
3 parties a week, that'd be 12 parties a month times 400, that's 4,800. And you'd be making 40%. So that's about almost $2,000 a month with that. And that's just on your personal business. And by the way, with meeting that many people every month, you're sure to build a team almost by accident. But if you want to follow a few guidelines, I bet you we could build one pretty quickly and really increase that income quite significantly.
Oh my gosh. That would be phenomenal.
Okay, great. And honestly, I feel like you could do that in under 20 hours a week if you feel like you have 20 hours.
Oh yeah, I could put 20 hours into a business.
That's about, in the end, that's about $100 an hour before you even start building your team. Not a bad income, is it?
Not a bad income at all.
Great. So we've learned already a little bit. So, I got a few words here. We've actually kind of talked about the time already that it takes, and we've talked about the money that you can make just on a simple basis. I've got a couple of other cards if there's anything else you need to know. One says fun, one says support, and one says simple. Do any of those really resonate with you that, man, I need to know about that? That's really important.
Yes. The problem I'm having with Longaberger is I live in Erie, Pennsylvania. My first upline and my second upline live in Indiana.
Okay.
And that's just too far away for me to get any support or to do any group things. I love to do group things with other consultants, and I just don't have that anymore.
Well, of course, I'm local since I bought mattresses, so you don't have to worry about that. And I have an upline leader. Her name's Karen Simpson, and there's actually another manager in the area. And we partner, and we do a lot of things together. We even partner with our team in Pittsburgh every few months.
Oh.
We've got a really great organization. Our organization is all over the country, but we do have local meetings monthly. I'm a real believer, even though I'm pretty new at this, we can all learn from each other. So I'd love for you even to shadow me on parties or shadow Karen, or when you meet people at our team meeting, shadow anybody you want to, because you might just really connect with a personality that may not be mine or whatever. I know this isn't about local, but we have an amazing Facebook page that makes me feel like I'm local, because I also don't want you to feel like you can only recruit local, because we don't want to stifle that opportunity. And I have to tell you, the way I've learned to use modern technology now, and I am not a techie person.
Okay, you're mine.
I can feel like, like right now we're here on this Zoom thing, and, we live about 40 miles apart, but still it feels like we're in each other's living room.
Right.
I just think sometimes we get in a rut when we've been doing the same things, the same ways. And one thing that I really pride myself on is staying new and trying to learn all the new things that are out there so that I can support people like you the best way possible. Does that feel like the kind of support that you're looking for?
Yes, that does. That sounds wonderful.
So, Deb, it sounds like this could be a perfect fit. You said your things that you were looking for was stability, and I want you to know that Mars has been in business for over 100 years.
Okay.
Now, Chocolate Discoveries has only been around about 7, but we have a parent company that is highly invested, and they just don't give up. In fact, let me just tell you a little story. I think this always intrigues me about how invested they are in their companies. You know that candy bar called Twix?
Yes, my favorite.
Okay, if you had to guess, how long do you think it took Twix to turn a profit? That's really good, right?
Yeah, a year? I don't know.
Are you ready for the answer?
Yes. What?
30 years.
Seriously? That's my favorite candy bar. Oh my goodness.
Well, and that's why when I always say Mr. Mars knew he could make that cookie crisp in the center, so he was not giving up. And when they believe in something and they invest in something, they're in it for the long haul. So I want to share that with you. Mars doesn't share a lot of their numbers and that type of thing, but that was a story that our president shared with me, and that really has resonated with me as well.
Yes.
I know you said you wanted to be a good product. Well, Duck Chocolate is the #1 pure chocolate brand in the world. Mars is the world's largest chocolate company, and chocolate is the #1 flavor at 83% in the world.
Wow.
So I definitely want you to know you've got a good product and an easy product to sell, because I know when I think of baskets, and this probably isn't very fair, but I think of females and I think of adults and I think of women probably between the ages of 30 and 50 or whatever. That may be totally off. But when I think of chocolate, I think of everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so I think we can definitely take care of those things for you. And with the money, sound like it was a good marriage for the time invested and what you could get in a return. And you've got the support. So sounds like to me this is a perfect fit. We should just get you started. What do you say?
I think that's wonderful. I'd love to join your team.
Excellent. Okay. Don't we wish they were all just like that?
Yes. Yes.
But here's what I want you to say. You will have more like Deb if you follow this pattern. So Deb, as the first, and I'm going to let everybody come off mute and share as we can. I'll have you raise your hand so we don't have too much background noise. What were some of the things that you identified with and thought, I do that and I'm glad I do, or I wish I did that better, or I've never done that and I want to do that? And Deb, I'm gonna let you go first. Oh, first question I have: Did you feel like I was being pushy?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Do you know why you didn't feel it? Was there something that resonated with you that said, okay, she wasn't being pushy because?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. It just felt comfortable.
Okay, Catherine, you're shaking your head. Why don't you tell us why you thought it didn't feel pushy?
It didn't feel pushy because she was answering questions about herself. And psychologically speaking, when we talk about ourselves, we actually like the person asking the questions better and are more likely to do what they want because we feel liked by them and important to them.
You can never be pushy when the other person is your primary interest.
Okay.
Perfect way. Catherine, you nailed it. And
I actually did that just yesterday in a Coco chat.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it? And
it was awesome.
Good.
And the funny thing was, I'd actually forgotten my food cards, and I was taking myself all the way to the Starbucks because I was like, I don't have them. Then I was like, you know what? That's okay. I remember what the F stands for, and I can go from there.
Right.
I just remembered to make it about them. It actually ended up being 2 girls there, and they joined as their own team, their first cousins.
Cool.
Yeah, and that split the joining costs so that neither one of them had to freak out about it.
Good. All right, let's get back to I want to hear more about that, but let's get this because we've got to wrap up here.
Right, sorry.
That's okay. No, it's very exciting. Dad, what were some of the things that you really liked, didn't like, whatever? Just your quick feedback.
Just the way you presented how many hours I needed to put in versus how much money I could possibly make.
Okay.
And how chocolate's appealable to everybody, not just a certain group.
And let me tell you, the reason I shared that was based on your responses. Not everybody would I necessarily share that with, but you were you wanted a good product, you wanted something easy to sell, and you wanted a stable company. So that led me to those topics.
Okay.
That's what's important.
You got off of what I was giving you.
Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Anybody who else wants to share what their some of their takeaways were? Ann, go ahead.
Did you follow a specific pattern with those food cards?
Yeah.
The first one, the food card, is ask questions about their occupation, organization, dreams, and family. And here's the thing. You don't want to just say, tell me about your family. I said, tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you have children, or how old are they? Do you work outside the home? You've got to feed them some stuff, right? Now, had I not known her husband and he didn't set this up, my other question, if she would have said I was married, I'd say, so Tell me how you think your husband would feel if you were bringing in about $100 every evening legally.
Yeah.
Would he be supportive? Because
Right.
at the end, I don't want her to go, well, I need to talk to my husband. I want to be able to say, well, I'm so glad, we started out by the fact of you saying your husband would think it would be great
Mm-hmm.
if you were bringing in $100 legally a couple of times a week.
Legally.
And I just try to make it light and fun, and so they feel like we're just having a conversation. So that first one does say on the back, but you don't want to say, tell me about your family, tell me about your occupation. You want to, again, make it conversational. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Work outside the home. What do you do? Feed them what you want to know. And then she asked some questions before I even got to the food cards. So we answered time and money, so I didn't go back to those. And then I said, but out of these other three, does anything really, and man, she was on it, yes. I want to know these things. I want to feel supported. She was very specific. And I didn't even, at that point, I was getting so much positive feedback from her, there was no need to go on to any other cards.
Mm-hmm.
No need. She didn't say, well, they all feel like I need to. She was very on it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good question. Anybody else? What was your takeaways, or what did you notice? Anybody?
It is your mother calling.
Somebody's mother's calling.
My aunt's in the hospital. I need to take this, okay?
Okay, so what I wanted you to hear is, and I think you probably did, but maybe you're just not verbally, is how based on the response of her questions is how I kept bringing it back in. I call it closing from the start. You start closing the sale the minute you start talking. You don't wait till the end. I was saying things, oh, does that feel like a good, return on your investment? I didn't wait till the very end. I asked her that right when we started talking about money. Do you feel like this is the kind of stability that you'd be looking for? Mars is 107 years old, or 103 years old. Does that feel good to you? Asking questions to constantly be getting a verbal positive response, because every time she shakes her head yes, says the word yes, gives me positive response, she's closing the deal for herself. And you will get a lot more Debs in your life if you're doing that, okay?
Okay.
All right. We are out of time in 4 minutes, so let's review your homework for this week. Your homework is to write your 30-second commercial. It is to do 3 Cocoa chats, preferably using the food cards. Even if, I don't care if you're practicing, if they say no, then you ask them to practice. Do not start asking with, can I practice on you? Mm-hmm. Start with the real. That's why you did your list of 10, and whether you use those people or other people, I don't care. But after doing your list of 10, you should have enough practice right now to know how to take the compliment and the need, create an opening, and invite someone to hear about our business. And you're just going to have to invite until you get 3 people to say yes, okay? I don't know how, some of you, you might ask 3 and get 3. Some of you may have to ask 10 to get 3. But whatever you have to do, that's what you need to do to make it work, okay? I want you to have at least 3 parties on your calendar for the first 2 weeks of September. If you don't have 3 parties, if you have 0, then you need to book 3. If you have 1, you need to book 2. If you have 2, you need to book 1. If you have 3, everybody has to book at least 1 into September, into the first 2 weeks. But you've got to have at least a total of 3. So however it takes you, some of you may have 4 because you're going to book a new one. You already have 3. So 3 parties in the first 2 weeks of September, but 1 new booking for everyone no matter what. Okay? So that is your homework. Have y'all found tonight helpful?
Yes.
I will send the recording so that you can review the word choices again, hear it. I'll try to get it out tonight. Sometimes I have back-to-back Wednesday nights, so like I just noticed Gene Parker just joined us. Whoever's calling from a 678, I'm taking you off mute because I don't know who you are. Who's calling in from 678? Area code?
It's me, it's Amy.
Who?
Amy.
Amy, okay. And then who's calling in from 254? Area code?
Well, it's Claire. I had to go on the phone.
Okay, no worries. I just want to make sure I had everybody on here. So I want to thank all of you for tonight. It's been another great class. Oh, next week I'm taking Monday, Thursday, and Friday off. So I need to move our coaching groups to Tuesday and instead of Monday. I'm going to see a nephew I haven't seen in 20 years that I raised for 2 years. So I'm meeting his wife and child. He's getting in Saturday. So I'm taking Monday, Thursday, and Friday next week to spend time with him. So everything will happen on Tuesday, same times, but just on Tuesday.
Okay,
What time?
I've got issues with that.
Pardon me?
I've got issues with that. I have a party booked Tuesday night, and I teach from 1 to 2:30 during the day.
That's not a problem if you miss it because it's my change. Just send me an email reminder, okay? Anybody that has a conflict, I understand.
Definitely.
And guess what? The next week on Monday is Labor Day. So we're moving to Tuesday again because it's a Labor Day holiday. So the next 2 weeks will be Tuesdays instead of Monday. And if you have a conflict, if you have a conflict for coaching, just let me know because one's my fault and one's the holiday fault. So I totally understand and we'll work with you, okay?
And maybe be able to let people out a little bit early without them complaining.
Okay, good. So everybody understand? I'll get everything sent to you. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.